The moment security stepped into the hospital corridor, the air seemed to harden, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. The young woman in orange scrubs stood still beneath the harsh white lights, her posture calm but her eyes carrying the weight of a lifetime of battles no one here knew about. Around her, machines hummed, stretchers rolled past, and lives hung in fragile balance, yet all attention collapsed into that single, cruel command to remove her. What no one realized in that instant was that this hallway, meant for healing, was about to witness a reckoning so powerful it would leave reputations shattered and one hidden truth finally exposed. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that the truth always finds its way to the surface, please take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Grandma Dearie. Your support keeps stories like this alive. She had arrived before sunrise, as she always did, tying her hair back with practiced precision, slipping into her scrubs with the quiet determination of someone who understood responsibility at a deeper level. To most people in the hospital, she was just another nurse, efficient, polite, and invisible in the way hard-working people often are. No one noticed how she memorized faces, how her eyes scanned rooms instinctively, how she positioned herself near exits without ever seeming suspicious. Her name badge told one story, but her past, carefully buried under years of service and sacrifice, told another. The man who ordered her removal stood out sharply against the clinical setting. He was powerful, wealthy, and accustomed to obedience. His influence reached far beyond the hospital walls, and he carried himself like someone who had never been questioned without consequence. That morning, stress clung to him like a second skin. A critical situation involving a family member had pushed him to the edge, and went their steps, sensing something was wrong. A doctor nearby watched with unease, while a police officer standing at the edge of the scene felt a flicker of confusion he could not explain. The woman in scrubs looked familiar in a way that tugged at his memory, but before he could place it, a sharp ring cut through the air. A phone vibrated in the suited man's pocket, an interruption he clearly resented. He answered it impatiently, already preparing to dismiss whatever inconvenience dared intrude on his authority. Everything changed in the span of a few heartbeats. The color drained from his face as he listened. His posture stiffened, his confidence faltered, and the certainty that had fueled his command evaporated. The voice on the other end was calm, precise, and carried the weight of a nation. It was not asking questions. It was delivering information. The name spoken was hers, spoken with respect, followed by a title that did not belong in a hospital but in secured facilities and classified files. The Pentagon was not calling by mistake. Around them, the corridor seemed to tilt as reality rearranged itself. Security hesitated, unsure whether to continue or retreat. The woman remained still, her gaze steady, as if she had known this moment would come eventually. The man who had ordered her removal now struggled to reconcile the person he had dismissed with the truth being laid bare. His power meant nothing in the face of what he was hearing, and fear crept in where arrogance once lived. Her life had not begun in comfort or privilege. She had grown up learning resilience the hard way, carrying responsibility early, discovering strength in silence. When she had been recruited years ago, it was not because of status but because of character. She had proven herself in places most people would never see, making decisions under pressure that saved lives and altered outcomes no one would ever publicly acknowledge. When her service ended, she had chosen not recognition